For 300,000 years, you would live and die having known maybe a couple hundred people total, not online, in the flesh. The same faces every single day for your entire life. That was the human default for 99% of our existence on this planet. Now look at the phone in your pocket. Hundreds of names. Thousands maybe. You can reach any one of them in about 2 seconds, and you've never once stopped to think about how strange that actually is. You are more connected than any human who has ever lived, and there's a decent chance you feel more alone than your great-grandparents ever did. Isn't it? Imagine you're sitting in a small band, maybe 30 people. The fire pops in the middle. Beyond the light, darkness stretches for miles, and every single person who matters to your survival is sitting right there, close enough to touch. So somewhere between that fire and the phone in your pocket, something broke. And when I went looking for what, I kept slamming into the same number, over and over. In 1992, a British anthropologist named Robin Dunbar, then at University College London, published a paper in the Journal of Human Evolution with a deceptively simple question. What decides how big an animal's social group can get? He studied monkeys and apes, and he noticed a pattern. The bigger a primate's social group, the bigger one specific part of its brain. The neocortex, the part we use for thinking and for tracking relationships. And it made sense. Keeping straight who's friends with whom, who owes you a favor, who to trust, and who to watch. That is expensive mental work. So Dunbar took the pattern from 38 different primate genera, drew the line, and extended it to us. The number that came out the other end was about 148. Round it up and you get 150. That's the famous Dunbar's number, a rough ceiling on the number of genuine, stable relationships a single human brain can hold at one time. He even argued this is why we evolved language at all. Gossip became our version of the grooming apes used to bond, a way to hold a bigger group together with words instead of touch. And here's the part that gave me chills. When Dunbar checked his number against the real world, the size of hunter-gatherer clans, of early villages, even the unit's armies naturally form. The same figure kept reappearing, around 150, and it's layered, like rings. About 5 people at the core, your 3 AM people, 15 close friends, 50 good ones, then 150 at the outer edge. The first time I read this, I loved it. It felt like someone had found the source code for modern loneliness, one clean number explaining why our enormous networks feel so empty. And then I found the paper that nearly ruined it. In 2021, in the journal Biology Letters, 3 researchers at the Center for Cultural Evolution at Stockholm University, Patrick Lindenfors, Andreas Vartel, and Johan Lind, did something almost nobody had bothered to do. They took Dunbar's exact method and ran the numbers again with modern statistical tools, and the clean 150 came apart in their hands. Depending on which method they used, the limit landed anywhere from 16 to 42 people, or 69 to over 100. Wildly different answers with error bars so wide the number basically stopped meaning anything. Their argument was blunt. You cannot take a line drawn through monkey brains and pin a precise figure onto human friendship, because we aren't just brains. We're culture. We can train ourselves to track more people, the same way someone can train themselves to recite 1,000 digits of pi. So now I had a real problem. The beautiful number at the center of my entire story might not even be real, and for a second, that felt like the end of it. If the number's fake, who cares? But the longer I sat with it, the more I saw that the critics and Dunbar actually agree on the thing that matters. Nobody. Nobody is arguing you can hold 10,000 real friendships. Whether the true ceiling is 50 or 150 or 290, it is small, it is limited, and it was built for a world that no longer exists. And then I found the evidence that pulled me all the way back in. In 2010, a researcher named Julianne Holt-Lundstad at Brigham Young University published a meta-analysis in the journal PLOS Medicine. She and her colleagues pooled 148 separate studies, more than 308,000 people tracked for years. The findings stopped me cold. People with strong social relationships had a 50% higher chance of surviving a given period than people without them. To put that in perspective, the protective power of close relationships was comparable to quitting smoking, and stronger than the damage done by obesity or by never exercising. Read that again. Loneliness isn't just sad. Statistically, it behaves like a disease. And here's the thing. This is exactly where that ancient number collides with the phone in your hand. Your brain still runs on the old hardware. It treats every new face as someone who might matter, someone in the tribe. But your feed doesn't hand you 150 deep relationships. It hands you 10,000 shallow ones, and your ancient brain can't tell the difference at first. So it keeps reaching out, keeps scrolling, keeps collecting faces, chasing a sense of belonging it was promised and almost never quite catches. Think about your own life. The group chat with 200 people you never speak in, the birthday reminders for names you can't place. We didn't expand the circle around the fire, we shattered it and spread the pieces too thin to hold any real warmth. And we are not imagining the cost. In 2023, the US Surgeon General formally declared loneliness a public health epidemic, warning it raises the risk of early death on the scale of smoking. And buried in that same report, people who spent more than 2 hours a day on social media were about twice as likely to feel socially isolated as those who spent less than 30 minutes. The tool we reach for to feel less alone may be the very thing making us lonelier. So after all of it, the brains, the broken number, the data. Here's where I landed. The goal was never 150. The number was never the point. The point is that you were shaped over 300,000 years to be deeply known by a few, and we have quietly traded that for being vaguely known by thousands. Your brain isn't asking for more connections. It's already full. It's asking for the old kind. A few people, seen often, over a long time. We didn't lose our friends. We lost the fire. And we've been trying to stay warm by counting the sparks. If you made it all the way here, you're clearly the kind of person who'd rather understand something deeply than just scroll past it. That's rarer than it sounds. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one decoding something else.